Good afternoon. I'm Joe Napoli, your city manager, and welcome to an hour. We're on a number 9 of our Zoom at noon. This has proven to be a wonderful venue. We have an opportunity for us to inform our residents about what's going on in the city, but more importantly, to be able to answer your questions. And so the process that we have is that we announce this, and then you all submit questions, and then we'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and go through some updates on the city, and then we'll go ahead and get into the question and answer period. So Lisa, can you go to the next slide, please? Okay, so this is the agenda that we're going to use. Like I said, I'll update you on some things going on in the city. Want to go over how you can stay in touch with us. It's very important that we keep the community informed, and we do that by using all of the means of communication, whether it's print, whether it's social media, a weekly newsletter, but we try to keep you all informed, and I want to make sure you're aware of the mechanisms that you can stay in contact with the city. Then we'll get into the question and answer period, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up with some important dates that I'd like you to know are coming up on the city. At the moment, we have several of our directors online. We've got, of course, myself, the city manager. We have Captain DiGiovanni, our police chief. We've got Joshua Rhodes, our assistant Parks and Rec Department director. We've got Raj Verma, our utilities director, and we also have Tom Good, our public works director. Okay, next slide, please. So if you do have a question as we're going along, please go ahead and on your tab there, press the Q&A, and then you can go ahead and type your question, and then we'll get to it as we get to the question and answer period. Next slide, please. Okay, here's some updates on what's going on in the city. This is very exciting. Our Education Advisory Board has been working on this for quite a while, and we have a lot of historical archives here in the city that we have well stored in a secure area that's air conditioned, in a dry air conditioned area. But we want to be able for the public to see what we have in our archives. So our Education Advisory Board did research and a search, and it decided upon a vendor catalog it, which will allow us to put all of our automate and digitize all of our historical archives for you all to be able to view. So we're going to be launching this in the next few months. But if you do have historical articles, pictures, anything that you think would be benefit to the city for us to archive and eventually have a real museum, please let us know, and you can contact us there. But in the short term, what we're going to do is we're going to have what's called a digital museum, and we'll be rolling that out in the next few months. Next slide, please. Our city is undergoing what we call part of our strategic plan, revitalization, beautification and revitalization. And a key part of that is our private residences. And we'd like to showcase the great work that many of our residents are doing in beautifying their landscaping in their yards. And we do a Yard of the Month presentation. Many of you, I'm sure, are aware of it and see it. But each month we select a yard by district, and that district commissioner will present the Yard of the Month to the winning family. And along with that, you get a $50 gift certificate from one of the vendors in the city. And there's the key criteria right there. So please rest assured that your beautification of your landscaping does not go unnoticed, and that we do actually have a Yard of the Month so that we can showcase the outstanding homes that participate in this. So I please ask you to get involved in that. We have a lot of complaints about short-term rentals in the city. Several months ago, the city passed an ordinance. We're really restricted on what we can regulate on short-term rentals by the state, but within those boundaries, the city commission passed an ordinance. And the key component of that ordinance is that anybody who has a short-term rental in the city is required to register it. And that you can register short-term rentals at that website right there. It's at that link right there on our website. It's on our website. We have a whole page dedicated to short-term rentals. And equally important, we have a means at that location on the website to register complaints. And if you can either go to the website to register complaints, or you can call the 24/7 hotline, where a real person will answer the phone, and they will forward your complaint if it warrants to code enforcement and to the police, and who will launch and investigate the complaint. So please check out that website, or that link to the website. Also, remember that phone number. So it's 24/7, 365 if you do want to register a complaint. We've been very aggressive in ensuring that people who have short-term rentals comply with the registration, but we're still receiving a lot of complaints about people abusing the short-term rental process, and also having large parties and creating a lot of noise and disturbances. And so please go to that, call that number, or you can call police directly if it's a noise or a disturbance issue. Next slide, please. We're moving along. As you may know, that a few months ago, our commission approved the purchase of a new fire engine, a new ambulance or rescue, and also a new ladder truck. And you can go to that link right there, or that website link right there, and you can actually see the progress of these being built. Right now, our fire engine is currently being built, and it should be ready in April. Our rescue or ambulance is also being built, and that'll probably be later on in the summer when that when that's finished. And then the ladder truck, it'll probably be about another 1.5 years before we get the new ladder truck. Next slide, please. Actually, since Captain DiGiovanni is on, I'm going to ask him to talk about this. This is a great initiative by our BSO police to engage more with the community. So, Chief, if you're on, Captain DiGiovanni, if you want to go ahead and explain this?
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Napoli. Well, we have worked to basically put out an initiative that we believe the public is going to love. And based on the response that we had last week, Saturday, when we launched this, we were right. We were able to distribute 554 pieces of ice cream and 300 crime prevention flyers simultaneously. The concept behind Get the Scoop is just that. Get a scoop of ice cream and get the scoop on the crime prevention tips in the neighborhood. And so we're marrying community involvement and crime prevention under one umbrella, the umbrella of that bicycle cart. So what we're looking to do is we're looking to have this ice cream cart at key locations throughout the city at various times of the month, hitting different neighborhoods, different venues and events, and having very time-specific and crime-specific tips to give out, while also engaging with the local residents, the kids, and letting them meet their local law enforcement team. So based on the input that we had last Saturday, I think that the public's really going to enjoy this, Mr. Napoli.
Great, thanks, Captain.
Welcome.
Next slide, please. Also, we've been giving you updates on the progress on our real-time crime center. I'm going to ask the Captain once again to jump here and talk about the real-time crime center, where we are.
Thank you, Mr. Napoli. So very excited about this as well. This is really going to put Cooper City on the cutting edge of technology and helping to integrate many of our crime databases into one central monitoring hub. If the community is not aware, about 1.5 years ago, we worked together to present a citywide technology plan for the city of Cooper City, which was approved by the city manager and the city commission. Within that 1.5 year time, we have rolled out this plan in 4 phases. The first phase was installing key fixed license plate readers throughout the city to create a grid. The second phase was putting strategic camera systems and key infrastructure locations in the city, like our governmental buildings and our parks, where we have so many people coming together. And that actually was completed 2 weeks ago. And then the third phase was building out this crime center where we can integrate all that information to one location, where we have a video monitoring wall where we can watch for real-time alerts and more responsibly use the resources the city has entrusted to us by having the deputies go to locations that we see a concern happening. So for example, if somebody is entering our city that's on electronic monitoring for probation on, let's say, burglary at 1 o'clock in the morning, and then we'll get an alert, we'll see that person traveling into Cooper City. Now we're able to have our deputies go and find that vehicle, locate them, and start an investigation before crime happens in our city. And that's just smarter policing, and we look forward to the results that's going to bring our residents and keeping Cooper City one of the safest cities in the state of Florida.
Thanks, Captain. Next slide, please. Okay, so Founders Day is coming up. This is really the premier event for the city. We do this annually, of course, in the springtime. We used to do it later in the year, but because of the weather, it just turned out to be much better to do it during the springtime. So it'll be March 11th. We've got an incredible day planned. We'll start off with the 1 mile run at 8:30. Then we'll have the pancake breakfast. And then we'll have the parade down 90th Avenue. And then all the afternoon events start at Brian Piccolo Park, starting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And we have all sorts of activities planned. We've got games, we have bands. Well, of course, we'll have a lot of food. We'll have the Business Expo. BSO will be doing a demonstration. We'll have a concert later on in the evening. And then, of course, we'll culminate it with fireworks, the best fireworks show in South Florida at 8:30 in that evening. So I look forward to seeing everybody on March 11th. It's going to be a great day. We've already heard that the weather is going to be great, so don't worry about the weather. And we look forward to seeing everybody having a great time on March 11th. Next slide, please. So to connect with the city, please, if you don't receive our electronic newsletter every Thursday, please scan that QR code now and sign up right away and pass it on to your friends and families. This is a great way for us to keep the community informed. We offer a plethora of information every Thursday on what's happening in the cities, a review of all the commission meetings, any updates on our ordinances or codes, explanation of some of the reasons why we're making changes to code. So this offers a tremendous amount of information on what's going on in the city. And I encourage everybody to please sign up for this. And like I mentioned earlier, next slide, please. We use every social media platform. We're active on all of those platforms. So if you haven't signed up to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, please do so and follow us on those on those social media platforms. Next slide, please. We did this a few months ago, but we have transitioned from CodeBridge to a new emergency notification platform, and that's Everbridge. You can sign up for Everbridge at that location on our website. Please do so if you haven't. We have quite a few of our residents that have signed up, but would like to get even more. And we're not going to abuse this, but we will certainly use this to send out emergency notifications. So far, we've used it twice in the last probably about 6 or 7 months. One, just a notification when we had a potential tropical storm coming, and another when we had the unfortunate shooting at Clutch Coffee a few months ago. But please sign up to receive our emergency notifications at that link right there. Next slide, please. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get into the question and answer session. These are the questions that we received prior to the session, and if you have additional questions, please just press the Q&A and type in your question, and we'll get to it. All right, next slide, please. Okay, so this is on about speeding between Hiatus and Flamingo on Sterling Road. So I'm going to ask the captain to go ahead and address this. And I just want to start out by saying the city and the commission have taken speeding and traffic issues very seriously over the past year. We have a lot of initiatives. We're going to be placing some trial speed calming devices on 4 streets in the near future. Our BSO has had several operations, if you will, during peak times. But we're looking at that. We continue to look at this very closely and take it very seriously. So, Captain, if you want to go ahead and answer this.
Yes, Mr. Napoli. So you're correct. This is a topic that comes up quite frequently. Speeding is a concern that many residents share in the city, and the city's been working together to mitigate some of those issues the best way we feel we can. And one of those is bringing back aggressive driving operations where we're targeting speeding and aggressive driving patterns. So beginning in March, we have a reinstituting of our bi-monthly aggressive driving operations, which will include weekend coverage as well, and the timeframes outside the school zone. So holding that traffic team over beyond their normal working hours to get additional coverage for speeding enforcement. And that's going to be typically for our major thoroughfares, where we see that the data shows the majority of our crashes occur on our major thoroughfares. So Sterling Road will be included in those traffic enforcement plans that are starting next month.
Okay, thanks, you. Next slide, please. So this is again about speeding. And what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to ask Tom Good to go ahead and talk about the initiative that I just mentioned earlier as he addresses this question. Next slide, Lisa. About the initiative that we have of putting some traffic calming devices on 4 locations at this time, and potentially to put it at more in the future. So Tom, if you want to go ahead and answer this question.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. City Manager. So as the city manager has indicated, he had brought forward some recommendations to the city commission in regards to some traffic calming installations and some of the locations. The 2 type of traffic calming devices that we're actually looking at are what you called speed tables or speed humps and rumble strips. So we are looking at 118th, which is one of the locations that has been made a recommendation to the commission for consideration. And we're identifying what are the proper locations to put a combination of speed humps and the rumble strips. Once we identify those locations, we'll probably be out in the community, particularly those folks that live on 118th, and letting them know essentially that these devices are going to be installed on 118th, and more particularly, we'll let people know who are receiving the traffic devices at their particular home locations. They'll get a special notification, and basically it'll be an opportunity for folks to let us know whether you like it or you don't like it. Providing that we get a majority agreement that the traffic calming devices and the locations that we're installing them are okay, and we'll be bringing that back to the commission for them to give us a final authorization to do the installation. And then when the installation is in, we'll have signage and striping so that it clearly identifies that we have traffic calming devices on 118th. And we do anticipate that they will provide some speed reduction.
Thanks, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Next question: have we made any progress on the dog park? We continue to look at the options. We at both the county, which is Brian Piccolo Park, and then some city locations, and we're analyzing those and working with the county, potentially Brian Piccolo Park. But the city commission also gave us a directive last time at our last meeting to include a dog park as we engage with an urban planner for our recreation areas. So they'll be assisting us as well in potential locations in the city for a dog park. This question is about garbage bins and how to get a replacement. You can see there, Tom, I'll let you amplify on that if you want.
Sure, Mr. City Manager. So yeah, any time that garbage bins are damaged or no longer there for some reason, which happens occasionally, all that needs to be done is to contact our office, Public Works office at 954-434-2300, or you can send us an email at publicworks@coopercity.gov and just let us know that you're missing or your garbage bin is damaged, what your address is, identifying whether it's a 96 or 64-gallon container, and then we will coordinate with our collection hauler, which is Waste Management, for a delivery and a pickup of your damaged bin.
Great, thank you, Tom.
Mhm.
Tom, I'll let you answer this one as well.
Sure. So we get regular calls on some of the trees that are within the swales, within the city right of ways. And we recommend that if there's a concern, to contact our office again, the Public Works office, at either the phone number or the email, and just let us know that there's a issue out at that particular location, at your home location, and we'll have staff come out and they'll do an investigation, and then they will provide the appropriate action necessary in order to mitigate whatever is considered to be outside of the norm.
Great, thank you, Tom.
Mhm.
So this has been a hot topic lately, and many of you may know that at the last commission meeting, our commission did actually pass an ordinance restricting the feeding of fowl. And excessive feeding is the term that was used, and excessive feeding ties back to causing a public nuisance. But next slide, please. So I'm going to ask the captain to go ahead and answer this, because there is a means now to investigate and assess people who are doing excessive feeding of feral animals and fowl.
Thank you, Mr. Napoli. So yes, this was something that the City Commission took to heart in the last couple of meetings, and was able to pass that final code revision last meeting, which is now in effect. And so essentially, if you have a concern about excessive feeding of an animal, a feral animal or a fowl that's causing some type of public nuisance to you, then you can notify code enforcement. We'd come out and investigate what that is. So a public nuisance is essentially going to be defined by if the normal use or health or safety or life of that area or property is being deviated from or hindered because of the excessive feeding. So we will come out there, we will inspect that, we will determine if there is a concern that heightens to that level. And then if so, we will take enforcement action up to bringing that person to magistrate for a ruling.
Okay, thank you, Captain.
Welcome.
Next slide, please. Well, that's all the questions that we had beforehand. Lisa, did we get any additional questions?
No, sir, we did not.
Okay, all right. Well, if anybody has any questions as we're finishing up here, please go ahead and send them in. All right, next slide, please. Okay, we have a lot going on in the next couple months. And Josh, are you on? If you're on, can you want to go through these events that we have coming up?
Sure. Like you say, we have the Founders Day coming up, March 11th. I mean, that's going to be big. The garage sale, March 25th, kind of started out of order. But the garage sale, registration is open right now. If people want to come in and register at the community center. I believe it's $25 for residents, and we'll open up later with a fee for non-residents if the residents don't fill it up. This weekend, September 25th, is the Optimus 50th year anniversary. It's going to be a fun-filled day again at the Sports Complex, where it'll be basketball, flag football, cheer, soccer. There'll be games, gifts for activities, vendors. So there'll be food trucks, special ceremony at 5 p.m. A movie that night following the ceremony at 7 p.m., which is going to be a fun full weekend of events with that. And pretty much after that, we're rolling into other stuff in our facilities. We have our spring break camp coming up, And our summer camp registration will be opening up soon after that. All that information can be found on our website. And then we also have our spring swim lessons coming up also, which that information can be found on our website with all the details for that. Thanks, Joe.
And if I could just send a shout out to the Optimists on their 50th anniversary. It's amazing what they do for our city, and it's an all-volunteer organization. They've been here for 50 years. They've grown with the city. They provide about every sport and activity that our youth need. Everybody you speak to in Cooper City has some sort of an Optimist story about how either their children or their grandchildren participate with the Optimists. So the Optimists are an integral part of what really makes Cooper City special. There's a couple things from BSO, Chief, if you want to talk about those.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Napoli. So we actually have a few events coming up that are displayed here on the screen for you. So first, we have Coffee with a Cop this Saturday at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Potential Church. We appreciate them hosting us there, but come on out. I'll be there. Members from your local law enforcement team will be there. And there's no agenda here. We just want to have some coffee with you and have some conversation, get to know you, give some questions about public safety. We just want to learn, our faces and our names. Come on out to Potential Church, 10 a.m. this Saturday. Right after that, we will actually be at the Optimist 50th as well with Get the Scoop. So if you were intrigued by that concept of Get the Scoop with BSO, you'll see us out there as well that day. We're supporting Special Olympics again this year. And so part of us supporting Special Olympics is hosting our Tip-A-Cop. And so if you want to participate in Tip-A-Cop, we will be actually at the Bogarts on next Thursday. So a week from today, March 2nd, from 8 a.m. till noon. And your local law enforcement team will have members there that are actually serving your tables. And any tips that are given will be given directly to Special Olympics to fund that important initiative. We're also having an evening Tip-A-Cop on Thursday, March 23rd at the Tin Cup from 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. So if you're more of an evening person and want to come out to the March 23rd event at Tin Cup, please feel free to join us at that event as well.
Okay, great, thanks. Next slide. I think that may be it. So that's it. Lisa, were there any more questions?
No, sir.
Okay, well, thank you, everybody. I appreciate everybody who tuned in. We're going to post this on all of our social media platforms for those who couldn't make it to listen to. I want to thank you all because this really gives us an opportunity, myself and our department directors, to update you on what's going on, but more importantly, to have an opportunity to answer questions that you may have. So thank you very much. Well, maybe we'll see you tomorrow at the Optimist 50th. If not, hopefully we'll see you on March 11th at our Founders Day. Thank you.